Hey guys, this is my second time making a video in the new apartment and new place. I made a video the other day saying I had an idea for the next video, but I'll still do that same idea, but it's been, a little while longer than I thought it would be. I thought I was going to do it the next day, but it's been like 3 days. Yeah. The next video topic I want to talk about was lust, actually. Lust, very difficult for a lot of people, especially in like the Western societies, America and Canada, and also anywhere in Europe where there's like you're like 1 or 2 clicks away from being able to look up like stuff like porn. You walk anywhere these days and there's always people wearing with way too revealing outfits. That's not just women, that's men as well. And it can be very difficult for someone trying to overcome it. I think I said myself that I had always had struggled with like porn and stuff like that. And it wasn't until like, how long ago was that now? About 2 or 3 months ago when I finally came back to being a real Christian. I was still struggling with it. There were periods, of a while where I would go without it, but then I would fall back on it when things got stressful, or whatever happened that made me like get whatever I saw. Maybe I saw something that got my mind that made me do it again. Yeah, there were times where I was doing a lot. Sometimes, like I said, there was a while without it, but I would still go back to it eventually. But in these past 3 months, I haven't done it once. And for the first little bit, maybe month, 2 months, I didn't even think about it, like at all. Now that I've kind of moved out from the previous place and kind of stresses got back to me and stuff like that, the temptation came back, but I didn't act on it. And that is not through my own strength. It's just God giving me a hand, basically. Yeah, I'm not some super strong, resilient, super willpower person. It's through, the Spirit helping me out to fight against, evil desires of the flesh, basically. And some might ask, how did you get through those first 2 months, where you didn't even think about it? How did that happen? Well, to be honest, I just felt very spiritually, what's the right way to put it? Connected, maybe? And the way to do that, at least for me, was fasting. I wasn't even like doing it for that purpose. I was just doing it to try to lose some weight. And then, like after a week of doing like maybe a week and a half of doing like random intermittent fasting and stuff like that. There was one day I think where I think there was a day where I completely fasted. I don't remember. But yeah, intermittent fasting mainly for like 2 weeks. And eventually I just felt very spiritually, heavy or connected, I guess. And it was through that time that I guess I just kind of realized how far off the path I had gone, what I was doing, how wrong I was in the things I was doing, to come back to God's word, to start going to church again. I started feeling all those things again. So I've started reading my Bible every day and stuff like that. I will admit I have skipped like around a little bit in the beginning and somewhere around the parts of the Old Testament. But I am at like Jeremiah right now. But I did read most of it so far. And honestly, if you're just willing to pray and what am I trying to say? If you're willing to pray and read the word and genuinely want to like learn and find God's like truth and will and pray and stuff like that, then it will be a million times easier, infinitely easier than trying to do it. Stop giving into lust through your own willpower. Trying to do it through your own willpower will fail like 99.99% of the time. And I still believe that 0.01% where you did do it was still God helping you. So I guess it's 100% of the time you fail. Yeah. Its main topic today was just that, you know, as some of the disciples had to do as well, you know, people who were close with Jesus, his friends, the disciples, they had to fast too to sometimes feel more spiritually powerful and connected. There are some evils that, you know, cannot be defeated without prayer and fasting, is what is put in the John, I can't remember if it's in the Gospel of John or it's in one of the 4 Gospels, where it's like, you know, there are just some evils you're just not going to be able to fight without prayer and fasting, basically. So, yeah, it's just not going to work if you try to do everything on your own, try to become a better man on your own when it comes to lust, or basically anything really. Anything related to trying to become a better man isn't going to work without, you know, God's help. You need to kind of realize that. It's the same thing as realizing you're a sinner, I guess, is that you need help. You're not going to be able to do it on your own. You might think you can do it on your own, excuse me, you know, for a little bit, but then it's just going to get too heavy of a burden on you without it. I still say, like, you can't do anything on your own 100% of the time anyway, because you wouldn't exist in the first place without God, so you can't do anything without him anyway. I know a lot of people struggle with it. I have friends that say they struggle with it and continue to struggle with it. And one of the things it's also my fault that I haven't really had this conversation with them, but like, one of the things I kind of noticed was that they just, you know, no offense against them, I'm not trying to elevate myself above them, but they just don't really read the word. They don't seem like people who are willing to fast and pray and really, really try to stop it. They say they want to get over it, but they're really just not willing to rely on God for it. And it's basically why they fail. And it's also my fault for not saying that directly to them. I kind of tried hinting at it sometimes, but maybe thinking they'll find it on their own, and that way it'll be better. But maybe I guess, you know, if you have someone you know struggling with lust like that, you know, you just gotta tell them, you know, you're not genuinely trying. They're probably gonna get angry at you or get defensive, but you just gotta ask them and see if they're telling you the truth. Have you tried fasting and praying, you know, and not just praying once, but praying a lot. Fasting and praying and trusting in God, basically. Or have you tried doing it all on your own? Because if you try to do it all on your own, it's not going to work. You just got to trust in him. And I know a lot of things are going on for a lot of people around the world today. And it's not easy to just sit there and trust in him, as you just want to see the bad go away, like right now. Because, so you just stop trusting God because you want the bad to go away immediately. So you just gotta have patience. Yeah, that was pretty much it for today. I hope that anyone watching this will take what I said to heart. It's just, you're not gonna get over this stuff if you don't trust in him, basically. If you're not willing to humble yourself before him and ask him for help, it won't work. Yeah. So, hope everyone has a good week, starting back today after MLK Day and a long weekend.